The taxi lurched to a stop. Rain lashed down, blurring the outlines of the building before me. Old Changi Hospital, even the name sent a shiver down my spine. The air hung heavy, thick with the weight of unseen history. I stepped out, the humid air clinging to me like a shroud. The gates were rusted, almost swallowed by the encroaching jungle. They creaked open, a mournful sound that echoed in the stillness. Through the downpour, the hospital loomed, a dark silhouette against the stormy sky. It felt abandoned, forgotten, yet somehow still alive. Do you believe in ghosts? It's a question whispered in hushed tones, often accompanied by a nervous laugh. We dismiss it as superstition, a figment of our imagination. Yet there are places in this world where the veil between the living and the dead seems thin, places where the past refuses to stay buried. Old Changi Hospital in Singapore is one such place. More than just an abandoned building, it stands as a stark reminder of a brutal past. Within its crumbling walls, whispers of wartime atrocities mingle with the anguished cries of the dead. Built in 1935, Changi Hospital was once a beacon of hope, a place of healing. But World War II cast a long shadow, transforming the hospital into a nightmare. When Singapore fell to the Japanese, Changi became a prisoner of war camp, its wards overflowing with sick and wounded soldiers. Stories of torture and brutality seeped from the camp, tales of unimaginable suffering. Many perished within those walls, their final breaths echoing through the corridors. Today, their tormented souls are said to linger, trapped between this world and the next. Over the years, countless paranormal investigators and curious souls have ventured into Old Changi Hospital, drawn by its grim reputation. Many have left claiming to have experienced something unexplainable, something that chills the blood and rattles the soul. There have been reports of shadowy figures darting through the corridors, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. Cold spots send shivers down spines, and disembodied voices whisper from empty rooms. Some claim to have been touched, pushed, or even scratched by unseen hands. One of the most persistent stories from Old Changi Hospital is that of the screaming nurses. These tales have been passed down through generations, each retelling adding a layer of mystery and fear. These spectral figures, dressed in white uniforms from a bygone era, are said to roam the halls, their anguished cries echoing through the night. Witnesses often describe the nurses as having a ghostly pallor, their faces twisted in eternal torment. Some believe they are the spirits of nurses who died during the war, overwhelmed by the suffering they witnessed. The hospital, once a place of healing, became a site of unimaginable horror during the Japanese occupation. Nurses, who were supposed to be the caretakers, found themselves helpless in the face of overwhelming casualties and brutalities. Others claim they are patients driven mad by pain and despair, forever searching for relief. These patients, subjected to experimental treatments and left to suffer in isolation, are said to have lost their sanity, their spirits now trapped in a perpetual state of agony. Historical records from the wartime period reveal the hospital's grim past, with numerous accounts of suffering and death. The screams of the nurses are thought to be echoes of the trauma that once filled these halls. Modern-day visitors to the abandoned hospital often report feeling an eerie presence, as if they're being watched. Some have even claimed to hear faint, distant cries, sending shivers down their spines. Paranormal investigators have flocked to Old Changi Hospital, hoping to capture evidence of these spectral nurses. Many have reported strange occurrences, from sudden drops in temperature to unexplained noises and apparitions. The hospital's old medical equipment, now covered in dust and rust, adds to the eerie atmosphere. It's as if the very walls of the hospital hold on to the memories of its dark past. Shadows seem to move on their own in the dimly lit corridors, and some visitors have reported seeing figures out of the corner of their eyes, only for them to vanish when they turn to look. The sight of a nurse's uniform from the 1940s can be particularly unsettling, reminding visitors of the hospital's history and the stories of the screaming nurses. Whatever their origin, their presence is said to be a terrifying experience, their screams a chilling reminder of the hospital's dark past. As visitors leave the hospital, many can't shake the feeling that they are being followed, haunted by the echoes of those who once walked its halls. I stepped cautiously into a long, darkened corridor. The air grew noticeably colder, raising goosebumps on my arms. The smell of dampness and decay filled my nostrils, heavy and oppressive. Each footstep echoed in the silence, the only sound the drip, drip, drip of water from a leaking pipe. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, my senses on high alert. It felt as if I were being watched, every shadow holding the potential for something sinister. There is a section of the old Changi Hospital which is particularly notorious, known for its eerie silence and the unsettling feeling that time has come to a standstill. There is a palpable sense of timelessness within old Changi Hospital. The walls seem to whisper secrets of the past, stories of pain and suffering that have been etched into the very fabric of the building. The air is thick with the weight of history, the echoes of suffering clinging to the walls. Each step you take reverberates with the memories of those who once walked these halls, their presence still felt in the shadows. It's as if the spirits of the past are trapped here, unable or unwilling to move on. The hospital has seen countless lives pass through its doors, and it seems that some of those souls have never left. The building itself seems frozen in time. The architecture, once modern and bustling with activity, now stands as a silent sentinel to the past, its corridors echoing with the footsteps of ghosts. Dusty beds stand empty in darkened wards, medical equipment lies abandoned, and faded posters cling to the walls. Each item tells a story, a fragment of a life that once was, now left to decay in the silence. It's a haunting reminder of the lives that were lived and lost within those walls, a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. The hospital is more than just a building, it's a repository of memories, a place where time stands still and the past is ever present. A dusty medical chart, still legible, tells the tale of a patient long gone, their hopes and fears captured in the neat handwriting of a bygone era. As the sun sets, the hospital takes on an even more eerie appearance. The shadows lengthen and the building seems to come alive with the whispers of the past. Outside, the garden has become overgrown, nature reclaiming what was once a place of healing. The plants and trees seem to grow with a wild abandon, as if they too are part of the hospital's timeless spell. Broken windows stare out like empty eyes, watching the world move on while they remain trapped in a moment that never ends. In the dimly lit hallways, the lights flicker as if struggling to stay alive, casting eerie shadows that dance on the walls. A rusted wheelchair sits abandoned in a corner, a silent witness to the countless stories of pain and recovery that unfolded within these walls. At night, the hospital becomes a place of true terror. The darkness seems to amplify the sense of timelessness, making it feel as though you have stepped into another world, one where the past and present coexist in a haunting dance. Moonlight filters through the broken window, casting ghostly patterns on the floor, adding to the surreal atmosphere of this place where time stands still. Old Changi Hospital is not just a relic of the past, it is a living, breathing entity, a place where history is not just remembered but felt in every corner, every shadow, and every whisper of the wind. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the unsettling atmosphere of Old Changi Hospital. It's a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead seem blurred, where the past bleeds into the present. Perhaps it's the weight of history, the knowledge of the suffering that occurred within those walls, or perhaps it's something more, something unseen that lingers in the shadows. Whatever the reason, Old Changi Hospital remains a place of mystery, a haunting reminder of the enduring power of the past. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain or understand? A cold spot in a warm room, a whisper in the darkness, a fleeting glimpse of something you couldn't quite make out or identify? Share your story in the comments below and let others know. The world is full of mysteries, and sometimes the most chilling tales are those that come from our own personal experiences. If you enjoyed this journey into the haunted past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us uncover more ghostly secrets and bring chilling tales to light. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest adventures into the unknown. Dare to watch more? Our next tale might just be the one to send shivers down your spine. Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey. Until next time, stay curious and stay haunted.